Would you like a mint?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Hey, welcome everybody to tonight's meeting at Western Region Town Hall. Thank you all for coming out. Tonight we're going to start with the roll call. I, Thomas DeSevis, I am here. Tim Chiara,
Present.
Linda Alexander,
Here.
Lisa Benavides,
Here.
David Eby is absent tonight. Catherine Kate is absent,
She
might be a little bit late. And Claudine Pedricelli.
Present.
Awesome. And we have a quorum, so let's do a pledge of allegiance. Everybody can stand and thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. All right, next on the agenda is minutes approval. I've been told at this point we don't have May.
Oh, let's, hopefully if Kate gets here, we can get something going where we can get the minutes from her to Linda. And if we don't, well, if not tonight, we'll try to get them tomorrow with the Gleaners.
All right, thank you. So we'd like to approve the June minutes.
I'm making a motion to accept the June minutes as published.
I'll second.
We have a second, and we have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next up is public input. If you're interested in 3 minutes of anything that's not on the agenda, we have the microphone at the podium. Would anybody like to make any comments that's not on the agenda tonight? And of course, speak your name and thank you so much.
Julia Carrera, Upper Lake. I want to say congratulations to Thomas Akeeves for winning the Nice board seat in the
thank you.
election. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it took a few years to get on there. So we had our first meeting last night, and any relevant information for the Nice Water Company I'll be sharing with everybody as it comes through. And it's a good group of people, and it's a good little shareholders company, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Anyone else would like to make a public comment or a public input?
I
Okay.
have something.
Yes, Lisa?
I would just like to invite everyone to the Bachelor Valley Grange this Sunday, 8 to 12. We are doing a cleanup day. So come with your work clothes on and help us out, get the hall back to work ready.
All right. Anyone else would like public input? Okay, I'll close that for now then. And I'd like to introduce our guest for the night, Jennifer Brennan, from the Energy Program Manager for Northern Rural Energy Network. She's going to be talking about the Lake Area Planning Council Energy Efficiency Initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just want to get this set up here real quick. I pushed it.
Yep, it's coming.
Is it coming? I might have to change glasses here.
It's okay. And I'm going to-
Okay. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Brennan, and I'm with the Lake Area Planning Council. LAPC has been serving Lake County for over 53 years. They're the regional transportation planning agency. So they recently joined a new initiative called the Northern Rural Energy Network, along with 3 other partners, covers 17 counties in Northern California, and we are one of 7 rural energy networks. And you probably never heard of that, but a REN is a third-party administrator of energy efficiency programs. And we were specifically created to fill the gaps that the big IOU, the investor-owned utilities, of their programs administering energy efficiency. And so just to be clear, we're not involved with solar power. That's generating power, and that's a great thing, but we're funded with ratepayer dollars and approved by the Public Utilities Commission to reduce energy consumption in hard-to-serve, underserved, hard-to-reach rural communities like Lake County. So we have 7 specific programs that we will be implementing in Lake County. So the first is our residential education and outreach program. Our second is our residential rebate program, and I'll go through more detail here in a second. We're also working on a finance and loan program specifically for Lake County people, public agencies, commercial and small business program, a workforce education and training program, and then codes and standards education for local government officials. So first I want to focus on the residential education outreach program. We've already launched this program, and it's really about educating the public about all the different ways that, whether you're residential or commercial, that you can reduce your energy consumption and hopefully reduce your energy bills. So we've been going to a lot of public events. Some of you have seen me present before. You're familiar. You've seen us at local, like the Lower Lake Days Parade or the Lakeport Farmers Market. Our website launched in April. You can find out more about our programs at northernren.org. And then we're also going to start doing some advertising, email marketing, and things like that. The centerpiece of this program is that we are providing free energy efficiency kits to all PG&E customers. So it's a box about this big, and it's chock full of items like 8 LED light bulbs. 8 LED bulbs that replace the old-fashioned bulbs over a year can save someone about $250 a year on their bill. There's also a smart Power strip, I'm missing a word there. Smart power strip. And then also plug-in energy monitor. Things like that where you can take it home and you can do it yourself and you can start saving energy. The other part of this program is we're offering free home energy assessments, which is over the phone, ask you a lot of questions about your home, and then give you a free energy report so you can get started on what are the things that I can prioritize, where can I get incentives, rebates, etc. So this program has launched, and so far in Lake County we have far surpassed all of our partners in getting energy efficiency kits out. We're close to having almost 200 out in the community, and again, these are free. There's 2 ways to get the kits. Anyone with a PG&E account can go to our website, and you can apply for one of these kits to be shipped directly to your home in a few weeks by filling out the information online. The other way is that we have been organizing and carrying out events at senior centers. Yesterday we did an event at Middletown. We've done Clear Lake, Lakeport, Middletown, and I'm missing one, but we have another one on the 25th at the Live Oak Senior Center. So we're going to places where people are. They're providing us information from their PG&E bill, and then we are handing them these free kits. So if anyone here has would you have a question?
Would you be available for the Upper Lake Senior Center?
Absolutely. Yes, I would love to talk to you, and we can get that scheduled. So if anyone is on a board or a member, if there's an organization that we can go to your folks and make it easy so that people don't have to go onto a, you have to have a computer, you have to go online, you have to do, all this stuff that some people don't really are not comfortable with. So if you're interested in setting up an event, please let me know. And again, these kits are free. They're worth about $100, and they can get people started right away saving energy. So that's the kits. The free home energy assessments are going to be launching on August 1st. Hopefully, we're waiting for one of our partners to get some things done before we can launch them. If you're interested, you want to call Ryan, who works for me, And he will schedule something over the phone. He'll spend about an hour with you, go through some questions. How old's your refrigerator? How much insulation do you have in your attic? What kind of heating system do you have? And then he will generate a free report that will help you prioritize, kind of get started. What should I do first? In addition, we have funding set aside just for Lake County for rebates for residential. So if you're doing what I'm doing right now, which is I need to replace my 30-year-old furnace, my 20-year-old air conditioner, and I need insulation in my attic. We have, if you go to our website, you will see our rebates. So if you invest in, for example, Energy Star refrigerator, dishwasher, you can get a cash back rebate. Same with heat pump water heaters, heat pump heating and cooling, ventilation and room air conditioners. So if you go to our website, you can see what the rebates are. If you have any trouble, you can call Ryan and he will walk you through it and get that rebate in. Now, I'm not going to go over all this, but there's always terms and conditions and rules, and everything we do is regulated by the Public Utilities Commission. So just to give you a little example of heat pump water heater, you can get up to $600 back in a rebate. And of course, by investing in the more efficient technology, you can go from spending $60 to $80 a month to heat 40 gallons of water with an old-fashioned electric resistance water heater to switching to a heat pump water heater and heat 65 gallons of water for about $13 a month. Now there's an upfront investment, and that's why we have the rebates, and we're in the process of actually, we're going to request from the PUC to double the rebates in Lake County. Yes?
Are the heat pump water heaters typically more expensive than the resistance water heaters?
They are.
Can you say how much more expensive?
You know, I was looking at those today.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, I'm personally looking at a 40-gallon Home Depot website. They're about $1,800. They are more expensive, but with the rebate, that will help reduce the cost. There are also federal tax credits if you have tax liability. Unfortunately, those are going away in December. But if you piece that together, it can dramatically lower that upfront cost. But then over the long term, from paying, you know, for example, $70, $80 a month on that old electric resistance to $13, you can pencil it out over the years. So if you have a brand new electric one, that may not work for you with the return on investment. But in the long term, it's going to save you money. Okay, finance program. We are working right now to design the finance program. We're really hoping that we're going to be able to offer 0% loans in Lake County. Right now, we know interest rates are high. It's not attractive to borrow money right now, and we realize that. So we're working very hard to try to get that type of a product, but we're also hoping to offer micro loans, bridge loans, etc. So the program design for the finance program is ongoing. The program has not been launched, and it won't be for some time, probably not to the end of the year. Working on that. We're also really focused right now on designing the non-residential or commercial program. So what we hope to do is offer energy assessments free, like the residential program, but for commercial buildings, government buildings. Also have rebates. And then also hoping to do some what we call direct install, where we have a pot of funding and we'll go in to a certain sector and just implement, for example, heat pump water heaters at no cost. That's what we're hoping to do. Right now, in order to get feedback from people in Lake County, and businesses and commercial buildings, we have a third-party consultant who has been distributing a survey. And that survey is live. It's on our website. I know it's really small there, but if you go to the northernren.org website, under services, you'll see a page where there are live links, and you can go in and answer questions about what you need. What's keeping you from investing in energy efficiency? Is it the upfront cost? Is it, you know, not having financing available? Whatever the barriers are, we're collecting information locally to design the program here in Lake County, specifically to what people need. Our third-party consultant is also doing interviews, and so some of you may have been contacted, and we're also working on some focus groups, and we hope to have a focus group focused on government buildings in Lakeport in August, and the same for business with the Clear Lake Chamber in Lower Lake. So those are being scheduled now, and we're hoping to get some really good participation and just really hear from the locals. We don't want to design a program that doesn't work for Lake County. So in our partnership, we have Humboldt County, we've got Mendocino County, Lake County, 14 counties in Sierra Nevada, and we are all very different. Lake is very different from Mendocino County even. So we're trying to get that information from people on the ground who know what they need and how we should administer the program. So there you have it. There's my contact information, my email, and I'm very happy to answer questions.
Thank you for this. This was a fantastic presentation. I have a couple questions for you. One would be for the rebate programs. Is that for homeowners or for account holders?
It is for homeowners, and I'll have to check on if it's a renter. I believe renters can also, but the likelihood of a renter buying something, like a room air conditioner, that might be something that a renter would be willing to put the money up front, but maybe a new refrigerator, they might not. But I don't think there's anything to keep them from doing that if the PG&E bill is in their name.
Okay. And then the other question is, are we able to get a copy of this slide deck?
Sure.
Because I
Yeah.
had a thought that for your survey, I don't know who you've all contacted before, but I have some contacts at the Workforce Development Board and with the job centers that do business services.
Oh,
And I'd be
wonderful.
happy to share it with those contacts so you get more businesses to respond.
That would be great. And when we design the workforce program, it would be good to work with you.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of groups. Local contractors, we want to work with local contractors because we want to have them be the ones who are installing the new equipment. So if, I've been reaching out to them, but if you have contacts with contractors or I know there's some workforce training programs over here, but I haven't been able to get people to call me back. We're brand new. We've only launched since April. And so some people don't know who we are, and, I don't hear back. But if there are people here who have contacts and can connect me, then that would be super helpful for us to get in with people.
Let's connect because I used to be the one-stop operator over the job centers, so I can directly connect with
Okay.
people, answer your calls.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Would the rebates apply to small appliances, or would it be just large appliances?
So currently, the larger the dishwasher, refrigerator, room air conditioner, room air cleaner, and then the heat pump technologies. But I will mention that, so for every rebate that we offer, there has to be, the Public Utilities Commission has to have like a white paper on it. They have to approve it, the measure, it has to be all pre-approved. But one of the things we want to add to our rebate catalog is insulation and duct sealing, especially for mobile homes. So we're going to work to add that to our rebate catalog. We can't just add things, we have to go through a process, but we'd like to add that. But back to your question, it's the larger appliances, but it does include induction cooking, which is electric.
So stoves?
So induction stoves, yes.
Okay.
There's a rebate. Those are pricey.
If you want to make a comment in the audience, you want to come up to the podium? Did you want to make a comment, Dell? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. Did anybody want to make a comment out there, or a question for
question?
Jennifer? No? Anybody up here, any further? It's awesome. It's just great that there's funding for this, and I'm going to take advantage of that kit. And because the energy bills right now are just through the roof. And
They're very high.
And I find it, because I think one of the supervisors' meetings I was watching, Supervisor Pyska had gone to a meeting and met the CEO of PG&E and asked her about the rates falling. And she goes, oh, the rates are going to lower. And I know recently the BOS meeting also had a presentation on another alternative power source Sonoma Power, which is interesting. But anything that help out and get us to understand how to save from this high energy cost, because to be honest with you, my opinion about the Public Utilities Commission is they're in bed with PG&E as far as I'm concerned. They just don't seem to want to.
Well, one comment I will make, I did watch the presentation to the Board of Supervisors from Sonoma Clean Power, and my understanding, so in Mendocino County, Sonoma Clean Power already provides rebates and incentives, and one of our partners is Mendocino Council of Governments, and what they've learned is that for them currently, the NREN rebates can stack on top of Sonoma Clean Power incentives and rebates. And the SCP incentives and rebates are pretty generous. So if Lake County happened to join Sonoma Clean Power, which is a community choice aggregator, and if someone opted to stay enrolled with SCP, they could stack our rebates and incentives along with SCP, which could make a very generous rebate for whatever measure that they're interested in. So that would be one small advantage. That's our understanding.
Okay, I'd recommend everyone that hasn't watched the Board of Supervisors meeting, I think it was last week,
July 8th.
July 8th, the presentation from Sonoma Clean Power. It's well worth watching that presentation. Carol, if you want to come up to the microphone. Yeah, you have to come to the microphone, though. We have to have you on record.
That's okay.
In the beginning, you said something was happening on the 25th, and I didn't get where it was.
Oh, so July 25th, we are having another free energy efficiency kit event at the Live Oak Senior
The Live
Center.
Oak. I was looking for a kit. Okay.
Yeah,
thank
from
you.
11 to 1. So basically what we're doing at those events is we're asking seniors to bring their PG&E bill so we can capture their service agreement ID number, and then we're able to give people a kit right there in person instead of shipping, instead of them going online and filling out a thing and then having it shipped in 2 to 3 weeks. We can just hand the kit over and we can answer any questions that people have about how to use the materials in the kit.
All right.
I have just two quick questions. Years ago, there was an agency that would come in and assess your home and the efficiency, and they would actually go in and place weather stripping and replace appliances. This isn't what you do. So if one was interested in weatherization and insulation, we'd have to hire somebody to do that and then present the bill for a rebate? Is that, I'm not
So
clear.
let me step back. So PG&E currently has what's called the Energy Savings Assistance Program, and it's income qualified. We are not funded to do their work, but my understanding of the program is that they come in to your house if you qualify for the income. I think it's something like $45,000 a household for 1 to 2 people, and they can come in and replace refrigerators and do weatherization and weather stripping for free. So we're not doing that.
Okay.
However, what we are doing, what we hope to add to our rebate catalog is a rebate for insulation and duct sealing. So if someone didn't qualify for the free program and then they had a contractor do the insulation and duct sealing, when we add that to our rebate catalog, then through our program, they would be eligible for a rebate. But so in PG&E, again, I just want to emphasize that, PG&E is implementing energy efficiency programs, and we're created to fill in the gaps of what PG&E is doing. There's also LIHEAP, or the Low Income Heating Energy Assistance Program, which I believe does some weatherization and also helps people with their utility bills. I'm not sure what the status of that funding is in Washington, D.C., but there's several, there's CARE, there's FARA, there's Energy Savings Assistance, and those are all done by PG&E. And I've actually invited PG&E to come to the Live Oak event on the 25th so they can answer the specific questions, because I know that the programs exist, but I'm not an expert on their programs.
Thank you.
Sure.
Where's that location at again that you're going to be on the 25th?
It's the Live Oak Senior Center,
On
Clear
Live
Lake
Oak?
Oaks. Did I get that right? Yeah, yeah. Clear Lake Oaks.
They call it
Yeah.
Live Oak? Okay.
Live Oak Senior Center, yeah. But, we could do an event at any kind of, membership, trying to reach out to veterans, to, anybody. If you can get, 20, 30 people in a room and they're interested, we could come to you and get them kids.
All right, anybody else with a comment for Jennifer? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing this great news.
Thank
Appreciate your
you
time.
very much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much. I just want to mention that I actually revised the agenda to add one more item, which isn't on the one that I gave you, and I'm going to make, as chairperson, it's just a small change, and it's just something I wanted to add and I didn't print the right one, but it's just, before we launch into the rest of the items, it's something I wanted to talk about, and it's the Clear Lake water quality, and I have a paper I gave some of you out there. And if you go to on Facebook, where's that format that I gave you guys? The Clear Lake water quality on Facebook, it talks about the quality of our water and the testing done by, I believe, Sarah Ryan at the Big Valley. And I mention this because I actually watched Sarah Ryan at the Eastern Region Town Hall, and I recommend that you watch that on PEG TV, PEG TV, on YouTube, Lake County, and it's an excellent presentation, and she goes into all about the quality of the water, what's causing the bacteria, what everything's about in the lake, and it's just really great. So I recommend, if you weren't there, or if you haven't seen the presentation, she's really, really well thought out, and she's been doing this for so long, and they do test it regularly. So if you want a better understanding of the quality of the lake, definitely review that. I understand. I wouldn't mind having her coming here, but I think if you go to the presentation, you can get most of what she's talking about, and we can consider bringing her here, but I think the presentation at the Oaks was outstanding. It's the Eastern Region Town Hall, and I forgot what day it was on, but if you go to PEG TV, which Thomas administers, it's awesome, has all the meetings. What was the date on that? Was the last one we just had, right? August 2nd? Or July 2nd? Anyway, I recommend that highly. The Eastern Region Town Hall? Was it July 2nd? Oh, it was Sarah Ryan, was after Pawan. Yes. Yeah. So. Okay, so our next agenda is the board is something we've been talking about the last few months, but I really wanted to kind of dive into this more. And it's the Western Region Town Hall Board of Supervisors presentation that I want to talk to the council here and see the members and see who would like to be involved with this. Do we want to do this still? I think we should. I just want to see who would be interested in being part of the team. Do we all want to be part of it?
I think probably the biggest thing is like who can present at the Board of Supervisors. Who's available to go there.
All right, let's do that. So I'll be available once we get a calendar date, and in a moment I'll ask Supervisor Crandall. But Lisa?
Yeah, as long as we have a calendar date, because I would have to adjust my work schedule.
And Tim? And Claudine?
Not at this time.
Linda?
Depends what day it is.
And then Kate?
Yeah, if it's a Tuesday, absolutely.
And then
Okay, Tuesday.
all of us would want to consider the presentation to cover what we've been covering for the last,
Right.
all the,
We assume that this would be an official agenda item on the Board of Supervisors agenda.
right,
So we wouldn't be sort of in there for 3 minutes sort of thing.
right.
We'd be in there for however long we need for a presentation.
EJ, can you comment on this? If we want to do a BOS presentation, when do you think we would be on the calendar? And
I would like to know when you want to, when's the best date for you, because I just need about 2 weeks in advance.
oh, really? Okay.
I mean, that's what I need for you. I mean, just because I think they've been waiting to have one from any of the town halls, and they haven't had one necessarily for a while. So, I mean, if you're available in 2-3 weeks, if you need one more month, let me know. I'll put it on and give you a time certain as well, because we don't want to make you guys wait there all day for a non-timed item.
Next month, we'll make a firm date.
Well, just talk to us.
Okay.
You don't talk to me.
All right, well, you're the chairman, man. I would think at this point that if we wait till next month to make a firm date would be probably a good thing.
So what I can do is let them know that I'll shoot for the week after the mid-August meeting that you have here. So a month from today, when you have your next meeting, I will shoot for the week right after.
Okay.
So you'll have what you need, and we can go from there.
All right, so-
That gives me and you both time to get everything situated.
That looks like an August 19th, it's based on the third, no, I'm sorry, hold on a second. The 20th is the date of our next meeting in August. That would be the 26th.
For the next Tuesday?
I don't know if we want to, that's the biochar appeal. Do we want to?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to
mean,
do it on that day. Or do we?
That's
Will
up
we
to
have
you.
I
time?
think we would be at,
That's at 9:30.
I think you would have.
We'll come
time.
right after.
Why don't you do it at like 1? Make it an all-day
So
thing about Upper
we
Lake.
could make the presentation and say, yeah, we're the ones that stirred up the biochar in the first place.
We can open for them. No.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. I think it might be helpful, because I think the first time we talked about the presentation was in like January of this year, and so I am a little bit hesitant to kick the can down the road, especially I've heard from multiple community members that they want to see some action. So I'm wondering if we know what's going to be on the agenda, if we know what we want to talk about now, is it possible that we could potentially do an earlier date? Just throwing that out there.
Well, as far as I understand, the presentation that we'll be making to the Board of Supervisors is about what we've done since we've started.
You could just do the last year. I mean, and you can do a historical, but I mean, it's up to you.
All right.
It's not necessarily an action item thing either. It's a presentation.
No, yes.
But it's good for them, the rest of the board and staff, to hear what you've been doing, and even if there's something that's been concerning all of you, which there's quite a bit, the directors will be there to have to, tend to it or answer if need be or chime in.
Okay, so I think if we
Why don't we look at the 19th?
that's fine. I'm just thinking about, we're going to have to meet between now and next meeting to get this presentation sort of,
Well, with the amount of people, and correct me if I'm wrong, Supervisor, but with the amount of us that want to be a part of it, I think that we would need a special meeting to meet, because it would enact the Brown Act. So we would just have to call a special meeting
true.
between now and that presentation, which I personally think is a great idea, and the only focus of that can be developing
Yes.
and finalizing the presentation.
yes.
But then that way, because I know we wanted to talk about the levies. The levy letter was finalized in March. I know we wanted to talk about, well, I guess we probably want to talk about biochar, because that's already on the agenda. But I know that there are some things that with minimal work we could present on pretty quickly.
All right.
So,
I would say I can't do it. We want to do it as soon as possible, but July I won't be available because of my workload. But I would say August.
Oh, right.
the beginning of August.
You were saying August 19th,
I'm
right?
thinking August 19th. Yeah, that
Okay,
way,
I was like, wait, not
it is
too long.
right before the next week, and I understand it's right before your meeting. But I mean, if you don't want to do it on biochar, and if you don't, I mean, it gives a couple weeks,
Well, August 19th sounds good. I mean, that'll, for me, I mean,
I don't think it really matters about the biochar, we just throw it all in together.
You could highlight that you've been an open forum for
Right.
the town. There's a lot of concerns, so you want to at least
And for a
bring
special
it up.
meeting, I asked you this before, do we need to have you call it, or do you
You
have to
call
call
it, 24 hours is all you need to post it and go from there. So if
Okay.
you call it and you have.
We'll check,
Yeah.
we'll post it and have it here at the,
We should decide right now when we want to.
when do we want to do the special meeting so we can get the hall available?
As long as it's in the evening and it's not next week, I should be fine.
All right.
Okay, let's look at a calendar.
The soonest I would be available is the 30th of July, yeah.
I'm also available the 30th of July.
30th is Wednesday. So that would, the 30th of Wednesday would be 2 weeks from today.
And we want to do it at 5:30, our normal standard hour and a half, or,
That works for me.
and then we'll meet here and talk to Tony and get the tribal hall secured so we can,
If not,
And
at
if-
the senior center.
or we can do it at the senior center.
Right, or the Grange.
do we
We
want-
have options.
Well, we'll do the best we can to have Thomas. Are you available to come back on the 30th for the?
He doesn't have to be here for a special call meeting.
He doesn't?
No.
Well, I like it, yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have to public.
We would just want to make sure that when we post to the community, that we post that there is not a Zoom option, so.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure.
Well, I would like Thomas here if we're going to do it. I always want open public attention, available to the public.
It would be like a work.
Talk with Bruno. The
I
contract?
disagree. You won't be here?
It is Western Region Town Hall, but if they call one, they can call, they can call a special meeting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, don't we think we should have Thomas here to,
I
again,
agree.
Just so everybody knows, cat's out of the bag. Zoom doesn't work. Zoom works peer to peer. And so I'm constantly working on a fix for this. I don't know what it is yet. And so as long as
Okay.
you know, put that in your agenda.
All right, we'll get one out. So we're going to call a special meeting. We'll make sure we get Tribal Hall on the 30th at 5:30. We'll have the agenda back out to everyone so they can notify you, and if you'd love to come to that and see us work on the presentation and make any comments and so forth, we'd love to have you back for that. Okay? Any other comments? None? Okay. So our next item is, we were talking about doing a website. Yeah, thank you, EJ. Website update from Lisa. You said she worked in the morning on this. Yeah, crazy girl. But she loves these websites. What'd you come up? She's going to show us what she came up at 5 in the morning.
At 5 this morning.
Thank you, Lisa. Who?
The presenter, she left.
This one right here. I moved it. Sorry.
I gotta connect to the Wi-Fi. I have mine. Thank you. All right. Oh, good thing it's on the website. Okay, so as I'm pulling this up, at our last meeting,
The light? Well, it sort of makes it easier to see the projector when that light is on.
You want to turn the central or the middle panel?
Oh, I can.
So at our last meeting, we had talked about potentially launching a Western Region Town Hall website. And this is based off of a recommendation that came out of one of our MAC whatever we're calling it, that thing. Because the Earth has one, and they have received a lot of positive feedback on theirs. So what I have done is I have mocked up what a potential version of the Western Regional Town Hall would look like. While I'm showing you this, keep in mind there are some features on the Earth website that would be really amazing to add. And I have already talked to Holly and Angela, who developed the Eastern Region Town Hall's website. We are going to meet so that they can show me how they accomplished it, because it really is, their website is very robust and a great connection for community members. Instead of having to go to 16 different things, there's one location that they can go to. So this would be our site. The domain would be lakecountywrth.com. It would direct us to this. I did purchase the domain and happy to donate it for this year. It was like $13. And the platform that we're using is free. So there is no additional cost outside of the $13 a year that would be needed in order to maintain a domain name. Unless we decided for some reason we wanted to be all kinds of extra, and then we wanted all the fancy features, and then we wouldn't want to pay for the platform. So this would be our home page. It is a quick little snap of what it is, what the Worth is, and then we've included some pictures. Here's a picture of the district map. I thought that was kind of helpful. And then when you come up to the top, you get the bread and butter. So the About the Worth gives more details of what a municipality advisory committee is. And this comes from some conversations we had earlier in the year when we talked about some folks don't know what we do or why we do it or how it's set up. So having a space that you could come and just, well, what is that? Before I show up, I kind of want to learn a little bit more. It also has the list of our current members and the link to the Zoom that's on our standing agendas. In addition to this, the site is not live right now, so it might not have the same functionality. Just keep that in mind. In addition to this, there is a Contact the Western Regional Town Hall form, and this is where if someone wants to sign up to receive our agendas, or if somebody has input that they want to provide that maybe they weren't able to make it to a meeting, they can sign up here. There have been multiple times where there's a little bit of a scavenger hunt to find a particular person that came to a Worth meeting, and instead of doing that, instead of figuring out, like, I have to ask Thomas, who then asks someone else, who asks someone else, they could just come here and submit and say, hey, I really wanted to get in contact with that lady that did the presentation on the energy program. And so then one of us from the town hall would respond to that. So it increases communication between the town hall members and the community. And then the documents is the next thing I'll show you. And this will be a repository of all of our agendas and all of our minutes, the Board of Supervisors letters that we read, in here, the survey summaries or anything miscellaneous like that. If anyone does, I know Julia has submitted and requested, like, I'd like this to be submitted on the record to be included with the minutes. We would also attach that here so that anyone that wants to know what was happening at that meeting, they can just come here to read it or to see what we're doing. Also, we've had a challenge earlier this year where letters were written at a previous year, and we didn't know where they were, or we couldn't find them because they were in personal emails. This would solve that problem because we would just upload it here. And then the last thing, which is one of the things that I'm going to ask our friends in the earth to help us build robustly, because they have a whole page that outlines any kind of news or events or articles that cover Lake County news. So I would like to add that component, but for here, these are the county resources. So these are all hyperlinks. So when a citizen wants to know, I have a complaint for code enforcement, and the Lake County website, no disrespect to our leadership, but it's not always the easiest to use. And so this could be one way that we can assist in that, is if you're just looking for the code enforcement portal, you can come here, you can click the link, it takes you to the portal, and now you can just submit your complaint or your concern. It also has safety information and county documents. So we've had presentations on the Lake County plan. I think there's another plan, the EV plan, that there's a meeting on July 29th. Information from that can be posted here. So it's kind of just like a cheat sheet for us to be able to use. So that is what I'd have. The only page that I would love to have included that I wasn't able to figure out the functionality just yet is the calendar. We talked about this before. So having an embedded calendar so that when the senior center has an event, or the Clear Lake Gleaners have their food distribution, or I think Robinson Rancheria has a backpack giveaway, that could all exist on the calendar page with the flyer and with the contact information, so that it's kind of like a quick snapshot of what's going on in the Western Regional community. And that is my presentation, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
All right, awesome.
Lisa, you can submit that receipt you could submit it to me in an email. That's what your budget kind of covers.
Okay.
Just things like that.
All right.
The town hall.
Oh, okay. It was $13.
All right, any comments from the board here, or the member?
Looks good. Yeah, very good.
Do you want to, Lisa, on this, wait to talk to the group in Eastern before you wrap up, and I'll put this on the agenda for next month?
Yes, that's what I was going to recommend, is I would like to refine it a little bit more. Like I said, it's not live, so if someone tried to go to the domain right now, it actually is just like a cute little something cool is coming page. So I'm going to meet with Holly and Angela, and then at the next meeting, I'd like to present a final version of what we'd like it to look like, refine it anymore, see if there's anything that folks would like to see on it, and then we could vote if we'd like it to go live in August.
And then again, I'll have access to this too, to monitor it?
Absolutely.
You'll show me? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
You can add multiple users, admins.
Okay, admins, that's what it's called, okay. Public comment from the public on this? Any opinions? Okay, well, I think it's awesome. Thank you for your work, and we'll look forward to once you have to talk to the group, Holly and Angela and so forth, and see what we come up with. It looks great. Another great avenue of communication for our group, and where we can put everything and centralize it. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So we're going to need Lisa on this one too. You can stay there if you want to. We're finalizing the District 3 survey. And did we have this for the...
I have a couple of them.
Yeah. And what I like to do is we're going to wrap up the survey and talk about the results, and then for the District 3 combo group that's going to be happening, and then let's talk about the results here. Community survey.
So first on this, Mr. Chairman, one thing I would like to do, I'm assuming if Holly's on, I'm assuming it was Miss Holly who did it, or maybe it was you. Oh. Somebody submitted it to Lake County News, and we received like 20 responses in a day. Yes. They submitted, I didn't check it today, but I'm happy to like pull a final report, because the article came out, I want to say Monday.
Oh, you mean they submitted the survey?
Yeah, they submitted the
So we
survey.
got more input coming in, so
Yes.
we should probably wait for that to conclude?
So what I would say is maybe just we can talk about this summary. I think the responses are pretty comparable, but I would like to provide a final report to everyone in August because of that article.
When did that article go out? In Lake County?
Monday.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping to give her a shout out because I'm pretty sure she's the one who submitted it.
That's awesome.
And it, oh. That's okay.
All right, so let's, we'll come back in August on the agenda to also talk about the final results, and so we can commit to continue having a meeting for D3 at some point in the next, after that. But the results so far is public safety seems to be the #1 concern.
Yes.
I imagine crime and everything else that goes along with that, and I agree. Number 2 is code enforcement.
Yep.
Number 3 seems to be environment. What is in, what are they referencing?
That's like the clear lake water.
Oh, the
or
quality of water
or
I
the
talked about
levees.
earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4 was transportation. Number 5 is our negative image.
So that is where, if you look on this chart where it says all responses, that's all of 3 of the worst, or the worst, all 3 of the worst, all 3 of the max. The only area where worth responses were different than the all responses was number 5 and number 6, where the worth responses identified social issues, such as unhoused folks, and connectivity, community connection as the #1, and then the negative image of the North Shore is number 6, and the all responses just inverted those
All
2
right.
responses.
Does anybody have a comment on these items? Would you like to make a comment at the podium about what you feel may be the most important thing to your, you believe public safety are on the board here? Public safety is the #1 concern? Crime and all the stuff that comes with it, the drug use, I know in Nice, I had continued issues over there. I mean, as soon as if I go outside at 10 o'clock, they all come out. And they're driving up and down the streets and going around and who knows what. And it's just a cavalcade of, do you get that in Upper Lake too? At night? Same here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, would you like to make a comment?
Who, me?
Yeah, do you want to make a comment? Can you state your name?
Yeah, I do. My name's Walt Christensen.
Hey, Walt.
I'm the North Shore representative for Upper Lake for the fire board in North Shore. And I'm just curious as to public safety, does that include the fire departments?
Yes,
Been nice to know.
it's on the survey.
I mean, it hasn't been brought before our board. That's what I'm saying to you.
Oh, no action. This was only to collect community input. No action has been done. What I imagine one of the
No, I
things
mean,
that we're
just the survey.
the survey hasn't been brought.
The survey hasn't been brought to the attention of the North Shore Fire Board. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm happy to send it to you directly, or
So that, I'm just giving you some information.
yeah, appreciate that.
And that's a good point. As a member of the North Shore Fire Support Group, we've been distracted over the last week and a half by some forays out into the wildland, but I'll be happy to raise that with an email this evening up the ladder and see if we can get some more responses. Thanks for bringing that up.
Thanks, Walt, for making us aware of that. We want to make sure this public survey gets out to I'd like to say 2 comments, though, on public safety that's positive. And recently we had an issue on Floyd Way where I live at, and we had to call the sheriff's department. My wife did, Robin, and we had a CHP come out to the situation with a car that was in the middle of the road, and the person was on drugs, most likely, meth. And the CHP didn't do anything at that point, but later on they had to call the sheriff's department, and they handled it really well and did a search and seizure and arrested the person. So we were really happy with them. And then when it comes to the North Shore Fire, and with all these fires recently, you guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
You're putting them out constantly and going after them heavy-handed. So it's been, you guys are, North Shore Fire is one of the most result-oriented, effective departments we have in this county. And we want to thank you, group, the hard work they put in, the sacrifice and the bravery to what they do daily. Because with these fires that we've been having lately on the North Shore, and then them on Saturday was the latest near Sayago. We watched that on watch duty, and we see the results of just the attack on it. So great job to the fire crews. Yeah, couldn't ask for a better crews. So fantastic. So we'll bring back the survey in August with the final results. We'll get information over to North Shore Fire, and we'll find the final results so we can get the first D3 meeting up probably in August officially, and that'll be open to the public, I'm sure, of course, right, like any regular meeting.
Yeah.
And we'll have to find a place to have it at, and then Thomas will come to it, and we'll do the same thing. And we'll have to find out, what's the best way of handling, going after the public safety, if that's still the #1 issue. Let's look at what we can do to, we'll have to talk about what we can do to improve the things that we still need to happen, especially the drug use, and, many ideas we can offer to the departments to try to help stop a lot of the stuff going on here. But, okay, thank you. Any other comments? Oh, go ahead, Margot. Go ahead and state your name and comment.
Margot Kambara. Thank you, Council. I want to applaud your council for your leadership and your vision, and also to Earth and to Surf. You're making great strides in increasing community involvement and engagement and participation, so kudos to you all. I also wanted to point out that your survey is terrific to get the pulse of the community, to see what's top of mind. And just a thought for the future, you might want to think about prompting or to gauge interest. Is there need for recreational programming? I heard tonight that there was a need for connection, so maybe it doesn't come in the form of recreation. If you say recreation, people might not think of that, but things of how to get people to gather together, spend time together, and otherwise just relate and enjoy each other's company. So I just bring that out because as the Board of Supervisors finished its work on the budget, at least for now, there's talk about how do you divide up funds fairly for the entire county when it's so diverse and so far out. So if you have something like recreational funding, that tends to concentrate where the cities are, Lakeport and Clear Lake. What happens to District 3? So here's an opportunity to survey the community and say, what are our needs? What do we want to see here? It's the same thing with other parts of the county too that are not close to Clear Lake or to Lakeport. So I just wanted to, again, applaud you for your good work and getting the word out so we can build a better Lake County. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Carol. I agree with her, but I want to add one thing that I want you to think about. Number 5, the negative image of North Shore. Why don't you call it positive image? There's no reason that you need to think of it, look at it, and think of all the negative things, but you want to turn things positive. And so think of it as a positive image of North Shore.
just a comment on the negative image and positive image of North Shore. One thing, I'm going to reach out to someone, Manny, who's in Caltrans, about putting our scenic highway signs back up and making it a scenic. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but Caltrans has been very responsible, and Julie will comment on that as well, but about calling us about, calling me back on inquiries, and just want to mention too that kind of off topic, but just informational wise, I like to share that they're going to be putting, and it's not our area, but they are going to be putting more of the, the flashing beacon signs, 8 more or so, or around that in Lucerne. So later this summer, so they are going to, you'll see more of those, and those are always good to have up for safety. I think they've helped a lot of Nice, and they've, probably saved lives too. So, Julia?
Julia Carrera, 3rd District Supervisor Candidate. The Scenic Highway is one of my, I've taken it on as one of my projects, and it's a bit disheartening that Manny says we never had a scenic highway.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm trying to get the Chamber and the North Shore Business Association to take this project on, because from my perspective, scenic highways are an economic driver. But I do want to say that I really appreciate Olga Steele and the Dream Team highlighting the businesses on Highway 20. That's helpful. But I would love to see District 3, and I think it was on the survey or somewhere that I read, see the District 3 town halls take on the scenic highway situation, because it is codified in code. I have it. I have the pictures of it. I have copies of it. So anyone that says that it was never designated, that's gaslighting. It certainly was. Thank you.
I agree. I think we have and I've, driving it every day, and occasionally when I bike ride through the whole thing, it's gorgeous through there. I mean, so it should have the designation, because it's worth it. Any other comments on the survey before we move on? Nope. Okay. Thanks, everyone. So we're going to move to the subcommittee presentations. First up, Pile Road, our favorite road, next to the Yellow Brick Road.
Hi, I'm Dave Hendrick, and I'm representing the Pile Road Subcommittee. And I have a short list of things that have come up over the last month. We had expected that to be all taken care of with Cody at the end of last month. As my understanding was that he was going to go to the judge right after the meeting last month and have Cody out of there shortly thereafter. Well, nothing had happened. So it just has gone on, and it's getting to be very annoying for all of the neighbors. So Cody managed to get a truck going. He got his old truck going, and he was dragging another truck around with it. And so let me get on my list. The guy on Dallas Street who was living there in a trailer right in the street, Logan managed to get him to leave, just convinced him to leave somehow, but he left a dump truck full of garbage there. And I mentioned to Logan maybe they should just threaten him with a fine for leaving the garbage and maybe force him to come pick it up. But nothing has happened there. That stuff is still there. But that happened right after the meeting last month. Cody was warned by the county. They apparently Chris went over there and told him that he was going to have 24 hours to get out at some point. So he got that truck running, and he dragged his trailer out after dark one night. I was watching TV, and I heard the truck roar and gravel start flying, and he dragged that 28-foot trailer, I think it is, up my road, and now it's parked on a street above my house, along with several other vehicles that come and go from there. Cody's Cody then dragged another trailer in over there on his property and parked it right in the middle of the property. And we couldn't figure out what this was all about. In the days subsequent to that, he's dragged that trailer out and parked it in the bushes on properties near his property there, and dragged another trailer into his property. There are still 2 tents there, about 6 people living there constantly. This is a real trailer park now. I mean, they really got it going. And they got no sewage or anything there. Okay. Chris did say in the last week that he's gone to the judge and he has the warrant. So this is in the last week. So he has the warrant, but he hasn't yet served Cody 24-hour notice yet. And he assured me that he would be there this afternoon looking at the place to see what they needed for equipment to remove whatever's left. Well, it's all different now because Cody's dragged everything around and moved stuff in and out. There's more cars there and more cars now on the hill in other places. At any rate, I didn't see him today. He may have gone, but I keep a pretty sharp eye on the hill. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Chris did tell me very point blank that he will clean up Cody's lot, but he's only cleaning up Cody's lot. It has nothing to do with the other people that are living over there or the other trailers that he's dragged in on other properties over there. They haven't dealt with any of that. So nothing's going to happen about all the other people over there. He did say that he suspected they'd all leave when Cody left. He suspected. Okay. Well, you know, and all my neighbors are really frustrated with this because this has been going on and on now. This is going on 4 years. And, you know, we expected somebody move in a trailer that the county would take care of this immediately. You know, like they'd go tell people they can't do that and make sure it doesn't happen. Of course, with Queenie's episode up there and taking 5 years or longer than 5 years for Queenie to get out of there, we should know better at this point. But yeah, you would think that when somebody's doing something specifically illegal in public, that something would happen, or there would be somebody you could call that would have some influence on getting something done about it. It shouldn't be going on for 4 years. And I imagine this is going on all over the county. And I can only say that it's got to be code enforcement's negligence. You know, we're just sick of it. I had to calm one of my neighbors down. Cody was running around all night, kept him up all night with a truck. This guy's a Vietnam vet, he's got PTSD. He was ready to go over and take him out. And we were going to have the problem solved the next day. And I had to calm him down and just say, you know, if you do that, you're going to be in more trouble. And the Cody's not going to be in any trouble. But, you know, it's just gone on way too long. At any rate, Cody hasn't been having fires since the beginning of July, since July 4th at least. We haven't seen any smoke from coming from over there. So that's a good thing. At any rate, I hope that something will be happening in the next month or so. Thanks.
Hey, Dave, I had a question. And I mean, when he's running around all night long on his methamphetamine tweaking and whatever he's doing, is the sheriff's department won't come out there for this stuff? They won't even pay attention to it?
The neighbors have not been calling the sheriff's department. They never did respond when they did call. Or when they respond, of course, it's way too late. You know,
yeah, they'll come out an hour later and then it'll come and nothing will be happening.
No, 4 hours later. Yeah. Not an hour. Never an hour.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no exhaust on that truck. So
I was
that's-
just thinking of the
that's part
circumstances we
annoyance.
had on our street just a couple weeks ago, or a week and, whatever happened. It was in the middle of Floyd, and the person was, he had all this stuff in front of his van, and it was in the middle of the street, and started at 4 in the morning, and luckily later on that day, the sheriff's department did come out, and they towed the truck and all the van out of there. It was in the middle of the street. I was hoping that maybe they would be able to react to this. And
CHP won't respond unless it's blocking traffic.
right, that's what they
When
did
he
on
drove
Floyd.
his
They
truck
didn't do
off the
anything.
road and it was in the ditch there by Garden Street for 4 days, they finally came out after 4 days and put a 7-day tag on it.
Margot, you want to make a comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Margot Kambara. A question. Has mental health or public health been contacted? Because, yeah, it might be substance abuse, but the root cause might be a mental health issue. And so I heard that some communities have like a mental health squad that goes out. It's not necessarily law enforcement, but to talk to the citizen who may be having problems and causing problems for others.
We've contacted public health. He's been in jail 3 times, I believe, for beating his wife up. The last time, that was going to stop, supposedly, but it wasn't 2 days and he was beating her up again, and the sheriff doesn't want to respond to that either.
All right.
Any other?
I
Okay.
just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing, because I did think of you the other day when that fire started right in front of Powell Road, and all I could think about was that's one of the reasons why the work that you are putting in is so important, because they're not maintaining, it's not safe, and all that matter if it's just matchsticks, and then it just sets it all up. So I just wanted to say thank you for the work that you're doing, because it is super critical.
Great. I got a map still of Pile Road and the garbage piles, and 35 of the sites are white now, have been cleaned up. So you did a
Awesome.
great job.
Yeah, great, yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to traffic. Upper Lake School traffic safety.
All right, Claudine, and I just want to report that school is out, and it will resume August 4th. And there is construction, as everybody knows. We're expanding the needed space for the additional students that we have. So that's an ongoing project, and I'm not quite sure. I'll find out Tuesday when the completion date would be. But I've made it a point to call at least once a month to the CHP, and I'm speaking now with Sergeant Powell. He's very concerned about, the citizens and especially the students. And I said that I'm hoping that Public Works will be available maybe to come to a meeting and we can talk about school safety in that regard. But I asked him, have you received any reports? And apparently Sergeant Amando receives all the complaints that come in, and they can come in via the phone. And he said, no, we had not received any complaints from Upper Lake. And I urge everybody, please call and voice your complaint. And it goes to this Sergeant Amando, and he presents it to the briefing that they have. It's a weekly briefing, and then they can pinpoint areas that need special attention. But again, there have been no complaints registered from Upper Lake, and it can be anything from reckless driving or, not stopping at stop signs, whatever. But the more complaints that are registered, the more they're going to appear. And he said that that is their intention, is to do more drive-bys and, acting on the complaints. And I have the new phone number. They have a new phone number, and if everybody would like to jot it down, and please call. It's 707-281-5200. And it's a very simple process.
What do they call the number? Is
It's a CHP.
Just their straight.
Yeah, it'd be non-emergency, and you could register your complaint, tell them, that you're a citizen of Upper Lake or Nice or wherever, Lucerne, and just say, look, this is what I witnessed, this is what is really disturbing me, and then they will take that complaint to their briefing. So if they don't hear, we all complain a lot, but this is just taking another step and giving them a call, voicing your location and your complaint, and they will take it to their briefing, and then they're going to work on ways of combating and making drive-bys. And I asked him again about his commitment to coming through Upper Lake and going, making rounds through the schools, and he said that he would do that. So I'm going to keep on him every month, and I kind of believe in this guy. I think that he'll come through and help us out.
All right, thank you. And we want to pursue the stop sign still.
Yes.
So maybe during the supervisor's report in a little bit.
Oh,
Or EJ, do you want to come on that now? Okay, we'll get to the report about the stop sign.
I would like to ask that we request that the new Lars and, is it Susan? If they could come, okay, because if they could come,
Okay.
Could you repeat the phone number again, please?
Okay,
You got it?
707-281-5200, and the dispatch lady answers right away, and then you just would tell her that you're going to voice your complaint, and it goes from there.
Okay.
So the more they hear, the more they're going to do.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to move on to the subcommittee for levies. Let's hear from Julia on that. Thank you.
So, this number is what you call if you didn't call 911.
Right, yeah, they're non-emergency.
However, if you see a drunk driver, call 911.
Right.
If you could please put this into the minutes, thank you.
You got that, you have to hold on to that. Linda, I see for a second.
Fly on the microphone. Julia Carrera Worth, Subcommittee for the Levies, Chair. John left. He doesn't feel well. Walt is here. That is our committee, just to make sure that everybody knows. Okay, I'm happy to be able to report something this month because there's been a lot of silence at the county, and I'm grateful that Pawan has communicated with me, and I communicated with Thomas about, I wear different hats and where I should present this, and he said to present it here at the subcommittee update. So, I was at the budget hearings, and I really do think that every citizen in Lake County should listen to, watch, or attend the budget hearings. They're extraordinarily informative, even if it's just gloss over information about finances. We're not sitting in a very good place as a county financially. But during the budget hearing on water resources, Pawan talked about budget unit number 8109, the grant funds, which is separate from the flood zone number 8, budget unit number 8108. And when you look at the budget, just to help you guys out, budget unit 8108 says Middle Creek Flood Zone Basin, but I guess the formatting of the budget report doesn't say allow for the additional space of flood zone number 8 after it. That's, you'll find in the emails. What I passed out is emails between Pawan and myself about the budget hearings and getting some clarification. Also attached are photographs taken today by Larry Henry, who I told him that I would present these at today's Worth meeting because he mentioned he'd like to see that happen. So specifically, Paul Wan talked about $59,000, $36,000, and $120,000. And I was requesting, how does engineering, scouring, and vegetative dams and gravel removal fall into those three chunks of money? And, you know, I want to commend Paul Wan for only being here for 1 year, and Lisa, Linda for that matter, who's only been here for 1 year, taking on a whole lot of stuff around water resources. I mean, we are a water county. It took a little while to get some information from Paul Wan, but if you go to the back email, what he's basically said is that the budget 8109, which is for grants, so the Caltrans mitigation project for Blue Lakes, which is the funding is held in that budget unit for grants. Caltrans is only the financier of that information, and they're actually holding that work under the Clover Creek Hitch Habitation Restoration. And, you know, part of that money will be used for design planning, data collection, labor, heavy equipment operation, hauling, reporting, and monitoring. But I was requesting, what about engineering, the scouring, and vegetative dam and gravel removal, which is the community's request. They are the ones, and myself included in that community, that are interested in that. And you'll see, as of today, Paul Wan says that, as a summary, we have about $59,000 for professional and specialized services, $36,000 for intra-division services, staff labor, and special department expenses of $140,000. And then he refers to that can be subdivided into the categories that he mentioned before, which include a range of activities, including design planning, data collection, labor, heavy equipment operation, hauling, reporting, and monitoring. Nothing has been done, and in these photographs you can see how I'm wondering if they're going to need a timber harvest plan to remove some of this vegetation because of the width of the trunks of the trees at this stage of the game. Legally, they probably do, but I don't want to bring that into the loop right yet. What is, I think, most informative is the discussion I had with the Caltrans supervisor of the Blue Lakes project. His name is Ziggy. He's been very helpful, very responsive, and very cordial. I would hope that our Lake County staff could learn that type of response to the public. He does not, as he said, Caltrans is only a funder of this. Lake County is managing the project where the scouring is over here. They have no influence over Lake County, but what he did tell me was that they are still in the design stage and that no work most likely will be done this year. That's my report. Any questions?
All right, well, thank you so much for... Any comments from the board on that? Okay. Okay, so we're going to move on to Supervisor Crandall. We'll get your report, and thank you so much.
All right. I'll go to what you were talking about first, Claudine. You were mentioning Lars. He is the interim public works director, and Susan is helping in an admin capacity. However, Lars is doing the majority of part of the work. He used to work in public works, so he's already now like the road. He's conducting the road contracts and whatnot as well. I've set up. I've had a couple meetings with him already. So I've been wanting to go over this emergency ordinance with him so that he's on board and knows what's going on. So I could invite him. He comes to all of the meetings when it comes to SERTH or Earth. He's usually there because of the Klaus Park, because as you know, he does public services as well, and then also the garbage or the waste management. So adding on to waste management, we talked about a dump day before. I need talk with CNS Waste. They just need a date, and I'm pretty sure we were looking at Upper Lake Park, right? We were looking at the park right here. So if you all can think of a date and let me know. I mean, if you have one in mind right now, or you just want to throw out a couple, that helps me as well. We can schedule those out. Let's see. Do you guys want to hash that out right now, real quick? Okay. I mean,
I agree with that. That was something that we had talked about last time too. So I think the last weekend of August, that gives us plenty of time to, last Saturday? Is what you said?
Isn't
Or last weekend?
that a holiday, Labor Day?
pretty much is, yeah, but.
So that might be a not so available for people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe September 6th, a week later? Oh, it pushes it back. All right. Well, you could either do it the 23rd or the 13th. I mean, it's up to you all.
Of August?
Yeah, so like the 23rd of August or the 13th of September.
What? Is it okay if we propose both those dates and if they have a
I can do
conflict?
that. I can just go that route with Michelle is her name. So let me put that in there right now. You said so August 23rd or
No, that's too soon.
September 13th. Got it. Okay. So just wanted to make sure that we covered that because I know it was a concern last time. Also.
And we're allowed,
What's
I'm
that?
sorry,
Go
I'm
ahead.
excited about waste stuff. And Nice, I can bring stuff to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Excited
not
about it.
checking residency, right?
I don't know. I'll
love
have to
free
check.
You'll stop me. Love the free dump days.
Animal control director, we do not have one any longer. He was pretty good too. Unfortunately, he had to move home. But we've already held one interview and we'll be holding more to continue on because it's quite overwhelming. There was a successful shelter. You were there, Julie. It was like a shelter for dogs.
The free
And,
adoption day?
Yeah, the adoption day or something like
Oh,
that. So,
right.
yeah, he was getting some things moving. He was getting budgets. He was making partnerships, and he was looking at some of the, protocols that we had in place and policies, and he was trying to enhance it. But fortunately, he had to leave. So, hoping that we can find someone that matches or has that same experience.
EJ, do you think that the issue of spay-neuter is just, there are so many feral cats and so many folks, and actually the cost of spay and neuter through our local veterinarians has gone sky high.
One of the things I was talking to some of the advisory board members about was that there are some in place at different areas. I know one in I want to say Kelseyville. However, they expect you to set the date and you have to be there. If you miss it, they all miss. So like, let's say you set the appointment at like 9:30 and you don't go, well, that whole appointment's missed or something of the like. So it's very imperative that you go to that appointment. And I think I just need to get that information out to you so I can better explain it because I'm just kind of going off the top of my head.
You're
and I want to
talking
have
about-
some documentation so you're not just taking my word for it.
The SPCA of Lake County,
Right.
Right.
and they have already, in 2025, had two major, what's called a pet fix events, separated by a month, in which in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, nearly 300 animals, both dogs and cats, were basically successfully spayed and neutered, vaccinated, microchipped in those two different sessions. There is yet again another pet fix campaign expected between, I think it's in August, and I urge people who are interested in low-cost spay and neuter to this evening, before the 1st of the next month, go to SPCA of Lake County and familiarize yourself with the intake process.
Right.
Because as someone who traps and has over 40 cats spayed and neutered in my neighborhood, you literally have to be online and begin the process at 5:58, because by 6:12, the first calendar day of the month, the spaces are filled. It's that competitive.
Yeah.
And we're talking about between basically 49 and 65 animals for a feral spay and neuter. And because I volunteer there, I am impressed at the number of people who continually come back each time, bringing another cat, another 4 cats, people who actually go out to the cowboy campground and trap the dogs and see that they're integrated into the system. So there's a big volunteer network there, but you need to familiarize yourself with their program so that you can take advantage as the clock is ticking.
Right.
And thank you for that. What's that? Did you want to?
Yeah, Julia, we need a microphone on you if you're going to make a comment.
So I'll just continue on, and if we can cover that a little later. She was talking about the county vet. There's an issue there because we still don't have one. Yeah. So,
Supervisor Kent, just one last comment on that same subject. You mentioned that the previous director was looking at the policies and protocols. I'm assuming this might be one of them, but I know that there's a huge adoption problem, and I actually called to try to adopt, and that process is so burdensome that even though my landlord allows for animals on property, he was going to have to reach out and he was going to have to provide his ID or his verification, and that's just not something that we're asking someone who's not going to be responsible for the pet. If we could just show our lease that it says we could have animals, or I think that that's something when we have I understand wanting to make sure, but when we have full centers and we're starting to euthanize animals, and then the barriers for people who are good pet owners and have the appropriate permissions to adopt are so high that they're not able to, I think that that's kind of we have to find a compromise there.
yeah, those were many of the types of things he was looking at and wanted to help out. He even stayed an extra month to try and get it prepared for the next person who's taking over. So those were the exact things he was talking about. It's unfortunate we couldn't get to that one, but I have it in my notes too, so I'll give it to who's there now. And actually, Susan's basically leading it right now, interim, until we can find someone. It's unfortunate because she's also doing her normal job and whatnot. So,
Thank you.
And yes, so that's what I got there. And thank you, Kate, for that information. Yes.
Chair Crandall, what is the timeline to get the new animal control director?
Well, we've done 2 interviews already, and we still have more to come. So I would say it could be anywhere from a month and a half to 3 months. We just, in one of my next report outs is we hired a public health officer. We hired him in early June, late May. However, he won't be here till September. So that's kind of when you hire somebody, they still
have a transition period and all that. Okay,
so that's why I say we may have the interview and have someone in place, but it might take a while for them to come here. But definitely you will know.
Sure. The plan, just to clarify, the plan to make the offer to a candidate.
Oh no, there's no offer yet.
Okay.
For any candidate.
Right, but you plan to make a decision?
No.
Okay.
There's just been an interview.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
EJ, could I just add that through the Silver Foundation, I am still operating the Companion Pet Program, which helps seniors with spay, neuter, and a variety of other issues with their animals. So I'm working out of the senior center, and it's available to seniors. And you fill out a simple application, and we have 2 veterinarians that are assuming our MOU, Main Street and Clear Lake Vet. And it's been a really, I think we've served over 100 and some seniors. So it's available if anybody wants to call. The number is 707-275-3513, and I can get you set up. And so,
Thank you, Claudia. And Thomas, if you can give, you were saying something. I didn't mean to talk over you. I was listening to them as well. So if you wanted to elaborate more on your comment about the...
Well, I just think part of our spay-neuter issue, and again, as a candidate, this is one of my top priorities, is that we don't have a vet.
Yeah.
And I actually attend all of the Animal Care and Control Committee meetings, Oversight Committee meetings. And this is something we're working very hard for. And in fact, that committee's making recommendations that hopefully will be before the board in December. And, you know, finding a vet is hard. We don't pay enough. Vets are making 300 times what they were prior to COVID. Why would they come work for a county that pays $140,000 when they can be making $340,000? So we're looking at creative and innovative ways to bring vets this way, such as a stipend for moving, a sign-on bonus, things like that. But because we don't have a county vet, our animal care and control can't do spay-neuters, which also means we don't get the income for it, and it's a kind of a domino effect for that whole department.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
okay. Anyhow, thank you for that. We'll move on. So I did tell you about the public health officer. You mentioned Sonoma Clean Power, and we met with them again just yesterday, briefly, because they did a presentation to Lakeport. And they were looking to do a feasibility study to try and work with the county again as a CEC. A community choice aggregate. And one of the big issues that we have in Lake County with them, and I've had before with them when they presented, is we have a geothermal setback around the lake. And so for me, the fact that they want to come in and sell us power or use our power around those areas, you know, I want to make sure that we not only do we benefit from it, but it's not going to harm us. As you all know, as a proponent with having an issue with the biochar situation, I want to make sure that, you know, we're looking into these types of things. Either way, they're going to be coming back and doing some presentations in front of you all, because that's the main thing that I've told them was, well, you need to talk to the town councils first. So they've probably reached out to you to talk to you. But that's just basically what it is.
I think they
know that I'm pretty reluctant because of discussions I've had with them before. I told them I said, well, if you can figure out a way to use the power source at the dam and help us keep Lake Pillsbury, maybe we'll talk. We'll be fine. That was, so that, I don't know. That's just just a joke, but.
Yeah.
The downside, and maybe Tom can talk a little bit instead of me about this, is that at the board meeting prior to the presentation, the CEO was instructed not to talk about Lake Pillsbury.
Chair Crandall, yeah, hi. I listened to the Sonoma Clean Power's board, their board, and their presentation about what they were about to do when they, just before the presentation to the counties.
Yeah.
And that board made it abundantly clear to the CEO that he was not to discuss or do anything about Lake Pillsbury and the dam. So he was under strict instructions not to do that. So you can get an idea of what his direction from his leadership was. So it was.
Tom, can you speak up a little bit? I'm sorry, we just can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah. So the issue is that I know he was brought up in the Board of Supervisors meeting, and he definitely sidestepped that question.
I brought it up to him before. I met with him over in Clear Lake Oaks with a couple of other citizens and told him the same thing. Like, I don't even really want to hear you talk unless you can help me with Lake Pillsbury. And they just laughed.
Yeah,
so.
they're not gonna touch it. They've been instructed not to touch it.
And so then I just decided to sneak it in at this.
Yeah, so keep doing that if you can. The other thing, if I can just say,
Yeah,
is that
please.
I personally have been, have had clients in the energy industry in my past life, and so I've been keeping in touch with this. There's a lot of upside to having community choice aggregates, but I'm very concerned about this one because we're not getting. It's one thing to give us all lower energy bills, and there's an opportunity for that, but it seems like what they really want is our geothermal. And I think that's worthy of a discussion, but each and every time I turn a page, I get a different perspective. So hopefully when they come to visit, ask hard questions. Why is it that they say one thing on their website, but then the presentation says something else? Why is it that this technology, which looks all sorts of great, is not the same technology that they're talking about? Things like that, because
It's called bait and switch.
it's, yeah, so it's a long-term commitment. It's a 20-year commitment with like a tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions exit fee.
Well, and not to mention, we get one board seat as a county, and then the city of Clear Lake and Lakeport, if they decided to, would share one seat. Not to mention the other, I think it would be 11 seats that are in Sonoma and Mendocino County.
Yeah.
So, like, what impact do we have? And when I talked with them last time as well, I mentioned, we have this issue with the water down in Sonoma as well, because we deal with it with Lake Pillsbury. They have a board, they have a JPA with Sonoma supervisors on it, and it was the same type of format when we did the Russian River Water Forum. So again, we've been here before. There's a different group deciding on what happens with our resources, and they're offering something, yeah, but when I looked at some of the fees, I was given an example bill, and it showed, about $10, and of course that's great. I'm not trying to say anything about it, but we won't have a say. So if something changes, then we're kind of stuck, and then people will just opt out. If you do sign up, you'd be like, yeah, great. But then if the bill goes up or some of the rates go up, you're going to naturally, jump off of it, and to have no say. And then not to mention, there's also AB 531, which with 50 megawatts or lower gives the opportunity for the company or whoever's trying to build or use this type of geothermal or clean energy, it gives them the opportunity to sidestep or opt out or opt in, one of the two words, I think it's opt out, of local control and go straight to the state. And guess what that does? It takes us out of the equation, it takes you out of the equation, because they can't come here. And so that is kind of in place not in place, it's going through legislation right now. I want to say supported, I can't think of his name, but I know he used to be a staffer for McGuire, so wondering how Cecilia Aguilar-Curry is going to look towards it, but it will affect us tremendously either way. And so we kind of feel, I kind of feel like they're giving us a chance right now, like, hey, you can sign on, but either way, if this bill passes, so it's on us still to comment to the state and oppose that, because again, that's what happened with some housing situations. If you remember from homelessness, they just had to appeal to the state and circumvent some of the local control, and then we were put in a position where we had no say. And so that's what some of these things do, and so I'll just leave it at that. Right. And so again, I give them a hard time because I'm like, we have the issue with Lake Pillsbury. Our water rights are gone. We're not. There was a comment made like about we're benefiting of someone's backyard or whatever. Like, we want to benefit from someone else's resources for once. Why does it always have to be ours? So yeah, we'll just continue to do that. And when they come here, I recommended they come in person. They may come in Zoom. But I recommended that they come in person. So you can set that up there Thomas.
Yeah, I think we received the email today from them, so we'll have to react to that.
Okay, I gave him
Or
your
react-
your
oh, yeah.
information, but who knows?
Well, the challenge is that our geothermal was given away and is now owned by a Texas company, but it illuminates San Francisco County. So I don't think that's something that we want to repeat in this century.
Yeah, with Calpine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you had something else you were going to add? or-
The only thing I was add is echo you just mentioned is that, and what you just mentioned is that my other concern is we should not feel or be treated like we're a colony of the North Bay, all right, where they take your resources and nothing happens, but they get to light up their, their data centers and their, AI departments and things like that. We have a beautiful county. We have a lot of just a wonderful lake and a wonderful area. I mean, when I drive home, I can see the steam columns coming up from Calpine.
Yeah.
It's way, way up in the distance. But when you look at their proposed map, it shows the entire western side of the lake is fair game.
Yeah.
And I brought this up at the board, and one of the supervisors says, "Yeah, well, that's a scary map." Well, yeah, it is a scary map. Well, if it's not the right map, show me the right one.
Right.
So ask the hard questions. Be respectful. But as much as I love community choice aggregates, as much as I love alternative energy, you got to be careful.
All right.
So just as I was commenting, I'll segue into Lake Pillsbury. July 29th is where the comments will be submitted to FERC. We'll have 45 days after that. We've been meeting with SLR, who has done our study. I can't get too far into that as of yet, but just know that that was done as a result of the Department of Water Resources giving us a grant to get a study done on the whole situation out there, because each study that's been done by previous to this has always been favored or with the aspect of decommissioning or tearing down the dam, if you will, or why it needs to come down. So we've been able to acquire this group to do this study. We're finalizing it, and we will be having that come out soon. And then our comments will go in on the 29th, or I think we will make comment after the 29th is what it will be. So that way we have time to address the it's the submittal from PG&E to FERC is the 29th. We have 45 days after that to comment. So that's when you'll see a majority of what we'll be doing from that point. So, yeah.
Do you mind if I ask a question about that?
No, I don't.
Will you be utilizing the seismic reports that came out in the PIR that show the structures are sound for the next 100 years in your comment, the county comments?
I'm pretty sure we will be. I know that
Thank you.
I already sent it to Lloyd and everyone else when I got it. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Yeah, I was appreciative of Keely for getting that. She had done an interview with me, and we had had extensive talks about trying to get that report. I had no clue she was able to get it like that. So that was great. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's going on with Lake Pillsbury. I did take a trip up there. I was talking earlier about how I went up with Frank Lynch because I did a swear-in for Lake Pillsbury's fire department, and so we were looking at the dam once again. But this also is something that proves what we've been saying the whole time in our arguments with this group, with Russian River Water Forum, Potter Valley Two Basin Solution, is that the fact that they're saying there's a seismic report and there's going to be damage and there's a liability, we now are stripped of having some sort of they called it what do they call it? They called it a orphan project. So they wanted somebody, or orphan, so they wanted someone to take it over. Well, we had it's in bad faith that they didn't allow us to have the opportunity to get a study like this, because someone could have taken it over with the resources or with the ability to use that power. Now we're at the point where we're at day zero, basically. So within the past 2 or 3 years, had we had a proper study, someone could have said, hey, we'll use it for green energy or whatever the case may be. I know a couple of agencies that have that. So yeah, we're at that point. So I'll leave that there. And there's a special housing meeting on the 29th at the Board of Supervisors chambers, 9 a.m. we'll be having. It's the Housing Action and Implementation Plan and Site Analysis Report. So we'll be getting your input and engagement for that. We'll do an analysis and have an approach to discuss the housing issues in Lake County and go from there. There was something that Captain Fansler, I just seen him at AVA. I was at the vehicle abatement meeting that we have, and even seen Marcus. He gave me the same report that you actually just gave, and didn't know that you were going to mention the warrant, but yeah, he told me that there was a warrant as well. But Fansler said he would come to the meeting. Captain or Commander Fansler said he'd come too, but it seems like you have somebody already from CHP, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sergeant Powell.
Yeah, so he's doing fine, and would you like me to bring?
I really appreciate him. He's very sensitive and very, I've spoken to this, he would be the fourth one, and out of the gentlemen I've spoken to, he just seems very reassuring and encouraging, so I'd like to stay with him.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, his commander, I can let him know that way, because he came to a meeting before,
Yes.
Fansler, but if he's doing fine, we don't want to deter that, right?
Okay, that's
Okay,
great.
and so, so I did see Marcus, they gave me the same report about Pile Road. Also wanted to, because there was a fire, I think you texted me about the fire last week or previous week about it. I wanted to highlight that on the left side of Pile Road, behind the Lalonis property, are you familiar with that property? There's a pond, they call it Cayenne Pond, it's a duck pond is what it means. There's a couple of people that live out there that, are squatting, right? So the tribe had worked to get some sort of initiative so that they can rid those two trailers and the people from that area. They're also doing that on Highway 29 and other areas. Of course, this is done because they're a direct government that can make these specific connections. Really wish we can do the same thing in the county at the same expedited speed, but we aren't able to move as quick. But at the same time, it's something that I know I'm going to get the EPA director in touch with some of the code officers, because I know they worked collaboratively one time on Highway 29 at the old Robinson over by Mockingbird Lane. And when Linda Rosas, who you were talking about earlier, she used to be a code enforcement officer and worked collaboratively with the tribe to get rid of some of those trailers and whatnot during that time, back in those time frames. So either way, there should be a collaboration at least, and maybe there could be a way that they can work together, because I know with the other property over on Old Robinson, there was some references to Fish and Wildlife and some of the contamination efforts, so that was another way to get something moving. So just wanted to give you that insight, because I know that the fire was near, and that was a worry. That's what was the one of the impetus, was the fact that there's such a high risk for fires, and when folks are using warming fires or propane in an area that's susceptible to fire, it causes a danger to the community. So that's how they were able to do that there. How do we implement it in the county, right? So just wanted to highlight that for you. So that's really all I have for now. If there's any questions, I'll stay here.
Okay.
I did miss the CERC meeting. There's a couple of situations within my tribe. We had a death this weekend, and interestingly enough, this morning there was an elder that passed, but I was able to I didn't want to miss tonight, so I set up a different visiting time. So anyhow, I'll be here for questions if there's anyone that wants to ask me any questions. All right.
Our condolences to the families. I'm sorry for the loss.
Yeah.
Was this Wanda?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
she was a grand lady.
Yeah.
Who
Wanda?
Wanda Galvin is her name. Yeah.
Wow, I know that name.
And also,
And
Anderson.
you knew her really
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Okay, announcements before we adjourn?
I have one. It's been on Facebook as well, but Upper Lake High School has started a Hall of Fame. And on August 29th, they will be inducting Mr. Craig Kinzer as the first honoree. He was my freshman year basketball coach, and he dedicated many, many years to Upper Lake. So there will be a dinner in his honor. They will be honoring him at the football game. I am not personally involved, but if you go on there is a Facebook page. Danny Page Goodmanson and Don Mary are some of the folks that you could reach out to. I know they are collecting donations now as well. So Mr. Kinzer was really pivotal in many young people's lives. So it's a great opportunity to honor him.
That's great. Educators they touch many lives, and they don't always know how many people they really affect. I've had educators in my life affect me,
Have a good night.
including, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's the 29th, and I know they're going to have it at the game, and then also Twin Fir Ranch.
Yeah.
He was my coach too, so.
That's awesome.
Wow. What month?
August.
August.
August
Okay, I was
29th.
gonna say, I thought it.
Okay,
I would like to ask the board, it's probably too late in the meeting, but if we could get somebody from Fire Watch, Know Your Zone, to come to next month's meeting,
Okay,
if we could
yeah, I invited them to a luncheon a couple of months ago, and they had the fire, acting fire chief,
Handler?
Shannon came, and he gave a great presentation with the magnetic little things that you can put
yeah,
on your
because it's been a few
refrigerator and
years since we've
information.
had anybody show up.
we can look into that now.
Yeah.
We'll have a
I'm
full
sure
agenda.
Thank you.
We have the
Yeah.
sergeant
Sure they
from
would come.
CHP and then possibly Public Works. So we probably don't want, our meeting's already going over tonight, so we want to make sure we, thank you, Tim. You can sit down now. But we can definitely look into that. It's really important with everything going on. I want to thank Supervisor Crandall I didn't do this right after you were done. Thank you for your report. Appreciate it so much. A lot of great information shared. Do I have a motion? Do we have any other announcements?
Just at the Upper Lake Senior Center is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays for yoga at 11. We have an art class every other, the second and the fourth at 12 o'clock on Thursdays. And
And you have
everybody's
a-
welcome to come and drop in if you need
You have
a
a new
computer.
you have a new computer that works?
So I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you so